Hello everybody, Morgan here, and today I'm going to be doing my January wrap-up and February TBR. So in January, I read 5 books total. The first book that I read was Severed Heads and Broken Hearts by Robin Schneider, and this is, I believe it might be the UK cover because it has pounds on the back for the price. But this is a contemporary novel, and it's a pretty short read. It took me maybe 3 days. I was kind of in a reading slump. But it's about a boy who has an accident, and it kind of changes his life. He goes from the popular crowd to like the misfits, and it just talks about his life, his journey there, and then he meets this girl who came from like a boarding school to a public school, and there's actually something like intertwining them together that you get hints about, but you don't really find out to the end of the book, and that you would like. I mean, it says here in the front, if you like John Green's book, then you would enjoy this. But I would say check it out. It's a pretty good read. So, The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey, and I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. It took me a while to finish this book. I started in December and didn't finish until January. First half of this book, and then it took me a while to get to the end because I hit this reading slump where I didn't want to read contemporary, is what I'm going to say, because this is like a sci-fi book, but I just wanted to read some like real world settings, and so that's why I picked up Severed Heads and Broken Hearts while I was reading this. But this is a sci-fi novel, and it is my first adult read kind of in a while, usually because I just read YA, but I actually really enjoyed it. It's a post-apocalyptic novel. If you haven't read this and you want to, this might be a little bit of a spoiler, so just kind of go away until this book is not showing, I guess. Post-apocalyptic setting, and a virus has taken over much of England is where this is set, and it's turned everybody into what's called hungries, there's a girl, Melanie, and she is a hungry, but she is a different type of hungry. They've like evolved into what she is, and she can retain information, and she has feelings and stuff like that. So it's about her and a couple other characters that are trying to escape from a camp that has been overthrown with like hungries. So it's from a different people's point of perspectives, and one being a little girl, which was really interesting. So hopefully I might start picking up some more sci-fi related books or zombie or even more adult novels soon after this one. The next book that I picked up was actually a graphic novel, and that is Deadly Class by a number of different people. And I don't really know their names, and sorry, I'm like losing my voice. This is the first graphic novel that I've picked up in a while and actually bought for myself, and I really enjoyed it actually, so I'm excited to pick up the second novel. It's about a kid who is homeless, but then he gets picked up to go to this academy that trains assassins and people from all around the world to be assassins and killers. And so he is meeting a group of his friends here, and they go on a little adventure and things happen. And so I'm really excited to pick up the second volume of this series, and I'll probably continue on with it too. So, book that I picked up was the Booksplosion Book of the Month, and that is The Final Empire, Mistborn, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Oh my gosh, this has to be one of my favorite books, beginning of a series ever. I can't wait to pick up the rest of the books soon. I I can't handle it, guys. It's just so amazing, and Brandon Sanderson has a way with words and telling stories, and I really want to do a book talk about this, so maybe sometime I can, but maybe not. I gave this a 5 out of 5 because it's amazing and I want to know more about it. It's about a girl named Vin who is in a thieving crew, and they are trying to overthrow the final empire, and the leader of the empire and the ruler, they're trying to overthrow and kill him. And it's set in this world where people can use metals for power, and so she is a mistborn, so she can use all the metals of allomancy, and she's kick butt and awesome, and there's a little bit of romance in this as well. But if you haven't picked up any of Brandon Sanderson's books, I advise going and picking up Mistborn because it is awesome, and I can't wait to continue on with this. And I will probably be reading more of Brandon Sanderson's books. The last book that I read in January, I'm also super excited about because it's also one of my new favorite series and authors, and that is Sarah J. Maas's Crown of Midnight. Yes, I read Throne of Glass in December, and I continued on with Crown of Midnight, and wow, this series is so good, and the second book was better than the first, and I can't wait to pick up the third book because I've heard that's better than this one. And the first book was a lot of like character development, and this book there's a lot more storyline, and Selena is still even more kick-ass, and you get to learn about some past, and some big things happen, and yeah, if you haven't picked up this series, the Throne of Glass series, I highly recommend it. Throne of Glass is the first one, Crown of Midnight is the second one, and Heir of Fire is the third one. And there's also a novella, Assassin's Blade, that is like a prequel to the Throne of Glass that just tells like little stories of Selena before she is captured. So, yes. So that was my wrap up for January. I'm excited. I read more books than I thought I was going to be able to at school. Technically, I did read 3 while I was still on break and 2 at school, but those 2 ones were pretty long and big, so I was pretty happy about that. And so on to my February TBR. So my first book in February that I want to read or technically finish is Panic by Lauren Oliver. This is a book about teenagers who play this game called Panic. There's during the summer, and they have to graduate that year to play, and there's a bunch of money at stake at the end that you can win, and I'm about halfway through with that. I've just been reading it kind of off and on, but I'd like to finish it this month just because I am almost done. So the next book that I have is Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I've read City of Bones, and I have City of Ashes, and I decided that I wanted to read the Infernal Devices first before I continued on with the Mortal Instrument series. I know a lot of people do it a different way, but this is the way I wanted to do it. And I have read a lot of Clockwork Angel, but I stopped for some reason, probably to pick up City of Bones a long time ago. So I want to marathon this series, so I will also be trying to read Clockwork Prince along with Clockwork Angel. But since it is February, and February is a short month, and I don't know how busy I will be with projects in school, those are like the 3 ones that I want to try to get done in February. There is another book that is the Booksplosion Book of the Month, which is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman. I don't know if I will get to this book just because I don't own it, and there's other books that I'd like to pick up before this one, so I might not do the Booksplosion Book of the Month for February and just do my own, and just try and read the Infernal Devices plus Panic. So yeah, that is my February TBR. If you want, you can comment down below and tell me what you guys are going to read for February. And so yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye!